Cameron Patton. This is a story about my granddad, Joseph Patton. My granddad was born the 11th of the 4th, 1958. In the 90s, my granddad lived in Main Street, Rathmullan. When he was at school, he liked playing out in the playground and he did not like Irish. When he was at school, he was involved with football. The way he got to school was on foot, and the school he went to was the same school I go to, St Josephs National School. He went to his aunt in Kerrykill on holiday, and what he did with them was saving the turf. My granddad's first job was working in the meat factory. An interesting wee story was when he was growing up, he had to gather spuds. His memories of life in the village were playing on the shore. The industry of the town was tourism. The importance to the sea was travel. A significant event in the town at the time was the regatta. What people liked to do was go to the pubs. Now my granddad enjoys farming.
Interview with my granda. My granddad's name is Finbar Turley. He wasn't given a middle name. Maybe because he was the 8th child born into his family and his mother went on and had 3 more after him. Very large compared to today. His date of birth is the 20th of the 5th, 1943. So he was born during the Second World War in Newry, County Down. His mom and dad remembered hearing bombs when Belfast was bombed. He was born at home in his parents' house in Sheepridge, Newry. My grandfather was once asked to build a wall for his father. He was around 16 at the time, so he made the blocks and built the wall. A neighbour saw this and asked them to build a wall for him. This was the start of my granddad's business, which is still going today, called Turley Bros. My granddad remembers when he was younger going to the local thresher and helping the farmers. This was a piece of farm machinery that separated grain. My granddad went to a school called Lahorn, which was out in the country. He walked to school and back every day and even had the job of feeding the master's cows on the way to school. He mostly walked everywhere, but also used a bicycle sometimes. He loved playing football at school. His favourite subjects were English and math. He never liked going back to school after the summer holidays. They went on holidays on a ferry from Warnpoint to Omeath. They never left Ireland as a family. He had 3 brothers who emigrated to America and Canada. One even joined the American Army and trained people how to parachute out of aeroplanes. My granddad nearly emigrated to Australia, but changed his mind when he received a telegram from his brother about a piece of equipment needed for his business. He bought this and continued to work in Turley Bros. Mostly the work available in the area was farming and also a flax mill. My granddad had his own animals when he reared himself from when he was 12. He had his first job for working for a local farmer when he was 14. One of his favourite memories was when Down won the All-Ireland football final in 1960, beating Kerry and brought Sam Maguire across the border for the first time. He was at this match and said there's more people at it than had ever been in Crokebar. My granddad still loves GAA and sport. He loves going for walks and going on holidays. He goes further than Omeath now though. Read by Jack Barrett.
My name is Jewel Johnston. I am very blessed to have 2 wonderful grannies. My granny Irene lives in Cristla and my granny Ursula lives in Rathmullan. The person I have interviewed is my granny Ursula. She was born in Rossgarrel, Milford, on a farm about 1 mile outside the town. She was very fond of animals and had lots of pets. She went to school in Skulmera, Milford. It was quite a large school. There were 4 classrooms and 4 teachers. The rooms were heated by fuel fire, which did not give much heat out unless you were sitting in front seats. Her Christmas was much the same as now, but with much less matter things. She had a Christmas tree which they put up on Christmas Eve. The decorations on the Christmas tree were usually made of glass. The streamers were made from crepe paper of different colours. Some were made from holly. On Christmas Eve, she put candles in the windows and it all looked lovely. For dinner, they had a goose and stuffing and vegetables, roast potatoes and mashed potatoes. For dessert, they had Christmas pudding and custard. Then she would have sweets and juice, which was always Sidona, which she only got at Christmas. She would then play with her Santa presents, and the family would play games such as cards. She now lives in Rathmullan, and her Christmas is still the same.
Diana Bueller, Grandma of Fia Friel. To be 9 was a very special year for me. One of the events to take place was the installation of a house telephone. We had what was called a party line, as we shared the line with another household to save on the rental fee. One drawback to this arrangement was we couldn't use the telephone when the other family were making a call. There were times when you lifted the phone and could listen to the conversation the other people were making on this shared line. It was a novelty to have a telephone, and my brother liked to phone unknown people and make joke calls. I liked to phone the speaking clock and didn't realise it was a recording. In later years, we used it to get the operator to make an early morning alarm call if we had somewhere important to go. I still remember with fondness our telephone number, which included the area where we lived with 3 numbers.